Hey everybody, this is Kohdok here, and today we are back with some more Mecard. Mattel has sent me a nice big fat stack of 4 more Mecards, nearly rounding out the set of Wave 1 for me. So today, we're going to be taking a look at YURL. Now, YURL is a character I've brought up before, I'll explain why in a bit, but something interesting about YURL is that he is the star of the current Mecard episode that is out on Mattel Action. So, YURL, what we have here is we have sort of a Formula 1 IndyCar style racer with all the spoilers and stuff like that. We have the box here, and what YURL is he's a vampire, and he shares this chassis design with one other Mecardinal, and that is Kangxi, depicted here on the gold card included with it, which is also a kind of vampire, although in Kangxi's case it's a Jiangxi, which is also known as a Chinese hopping vampire, but they're both sort of undead creatures. And now that I look at it inside the box, YURL here, his chassis design actually looks very similar to Alta, although I think YURL wears it a bit better. I will explain as I go. Now, one thing I've mentioned YURL about before is that he is the character who is always battling against the other Mecardinal when on the back of the package. So, who is YURL fighting? It's Evan. So, yeah, a couple of you guys have already pointed that out to me, but Evan is the one who is fighting YURL on the back of the packaging. Otherwise, everybody else is fighting YURL. Poor guy just can't seem to catch a break. IBV, what's that? Is that, that's a new sticker. I haven't seen that on there before, but yeah, it's all the similar stuff. It's got YURL racing forward, transforming, and battling against Evan, which is the big deviation there. So, let's take a look inside the box. And here we have YURL in his vehicle mode. I really like this design. It's very attractive. It's a bit blocky with the vents on the front and the tail in the back, but it's a pretty solid design. It's a racing car with spoilers on them. These sorts of spoilers are designed to pull these sorts of fast racing cars into the ground so that they can more appropriately grip the road and get some better speed as a result. So, pretty basic color here. We have the silver cockpit on top. We have some red on some black, very Shadow the Hedgehog kind of colors. Ow, the edge. But one thing I like about this design is that it's actually really clean on the bottom. If you didn't know better, you wouldn't even know if it was a transforming vehicle at all with how clean and crisp it is. Compared to Alta, this thing is way easier to transform back. So let's take a quick look at that transformation. And so here we have our transformed YURL. Like with Alta, he has these wings that kind of spring out and transform him, although in this case we have a vampire that actually springs out. So while he does have the hollow space, like the kind you see on Alta, it makes a bit more sense because it's a vampire springing out of his coffin. So that's what I mean when I say it wears the design a little bit better. And this is probably the first time I've seen any problem with the paint application, however. His eyes and mouth aren't quite as well applied as it could be, but then again, it's a sort of sunken in design. But like I said, it's the first time I've seen a flaw. We have a little flap in the back towards there that has some bats on it. We have the wings. We have a large wing and a small wing. This large wing is the one that closes it shut, although at the same time, it doesn't really change the body of the vehicle at all during this transformation. It's basically the grandpa, the Munstermobile, pretty much. So, let's see what we got here. Let's see, in the show, YURL is Black Reef, but what will we have on ours? Oh, looks like we have, Red Hall. I think this is the first time I've gotten a Red Hall character on this show. I don't think even Alta was Red Hall, so that's interesting. It also coordinates really nicely. It's got the red that goes with the rest of the red there, ironically enough. One thing about YURL is that he is super easy to transform back. So, YURL, you just kind of fold in his hands so that he makes the screaming pose there. Put the top of the coffin, the little wing, then the big wing, and wow, it's done already. Not really very difficult to do at all. I love just how YURL is dang slick. I love how slick this design is. I mean, like I said, it is a little parts formery with how it transforms, but the way he just transforms back so simply, and the way that his transformation generates just such a clean base there, that is just remarkable. I love this design. So, as for the cards I got, they aren't terribly exciting. I got a really weak Kangxi card that only allows him to take a look at 2 cards if you have Kangxi. I got a Mecard that I believe I already have. That's another one that allows you to peek, but it lets you peek at 3, and it has some really strong flipped numbers. And another Venoma, which allows you to move 1 card and rotate 1 card. So this is one that relies a bit more on memory. So that is a look at YURL, another Mecardimal and the star of the current episode. If you really like these videos, please be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to make sure you join my notification squad. Believe me, I'm going to be doing tons of Mecard videos. And if you really like what I do, consider supporting me on Patreon, where I just put up another video about Pokemon vs. Digimon that the Patreon viewers get to watch a few days early. So, until next time, this is YURL by Mattel, and this is Kohdok signing off.
도깨비단의 메카드 배틀 강자! 배틀을 하려면 메카니멀을 친구로 만들어야 해. 테이밍이라고 하지. 배지 메카드를 메카니멀에 대고 테이밍 온이라고 외쳐봐. 테이밍 온! 메카니멀을 얻었으니 이제 배틀을 할 수 있어. 메카드를 3장 던져봐. 그걸 셋업이라고 해. 셋업 메카드! 이제 메카니멀을 던져. 메카니멀